everyone, it's Jan and I am back to share a tutorial on how I made this little card, and it was fun, and I feel like in the process of working on this, I began to feel more comfortable with the idea of how I can use Copics and some of the things that I enjoy creating. I started a couple weeks ago just beginning to play with coloring with Copics, and I took every video tutorial that I could find on how to color, and I just tried to imitate what they were doing. And I am so not there yet, but I am enjoying the process of learning, and my confidence level with them, because I started out doing what they were, you know, most widely used for, which is coloring the brighter images. But now I feel confident taking them and trying to do some other things. So I want to show you what I did to make this card. To begin with, I started with a standard card size, which is 5.5 by 4.25, and this is actually an 8.5 by 11 that I cut down the middle because I wanted it to fold upwards. And to begin with, I took my We Are Memories corner rounder and I just rounded the corners. Everybody has their personal preferences for things, but I just thought this was fun. And then to make this watermark background, I wanted very rustic. I loved the craft cardstock for this. I took a Versamark, and don't let this fool you. It says clean, but do you see this stamp pad? I can't even trust my own handwriting anymore. I must have gotten this dirty sometime when I didn't know. This is an old Heidi swap foam stamp, and all I'm really wanting to do is create watermarks, just almost shadow images around the edge. Since most of the card is going to be covered up, I'm just going to use this right around the edges. And I think when you're doing this sort of thing, to add things that go off the edge of your card is a good thing. So I think it's the little details that make things. It's the reason why we make handmade cards. I'm saying that like I'm an old hand at this, I know. Anyway, I think it's the details and things that you can do like this that add just a nice touch to that. So that'll make a nice base for our card. And I took a piece of that mat and put it on the card using my ATG gun. And I think that you could probably, if you didn't have somebody as wonderful as Leslie to send you some of this mat, this woven mat, I think somewhere in one of my drawers I have something similar to this that is a placemat. So I'm going to have to go through my things on that and find some of that, because I think that would be fun to use. Okay, so here's what I really wanted to show you, is how I got this background that looks a little distressed. And to do that, the first thing that I did was I stamped my little flower Anya. Isn't she just sweet? She's sweet. And I colored her in. She's just a precious little girl. Love her. And then I did an additional stamp of her, and I cut it out. So I have a mask is basically what I'm going to do. And I use some repositionable tape because I want to make sure that it sticks here. So when you are cutting out your image to use as a mask, you know, we are so accustomed to cutting outside the line. when you are going to be using it as a mask, you want to cut right on the line or just inside the line. Because if you don't, do you see, if I had cut outside the line like I normally do, then I'm going to create kind of a halo effect from the stamp I'm about to use. Because wherever the mask is, you're not going to stamp. So just remember to cut inside the line, which is a little different than what we're accustomed to. So to give her little jungle feel, like my little flower Anya really is, I'm going to use this, it's called Vine Background, and it is a Stampabilities stamp. And I'm using Forest Moss. I want to get it all over my little vine stamp. And then using a mouse pad, particularly when you're using something like this, this mask, because it is going to, you've got to get past where that edge is. You want to use something that's going to have a little give in it so that you'll get a good impression with your stamp. So I'm just gonna this, give it some good pressure, and lift that up. Beautiful. Take our little mask off. I love that she is free and clear from that, and I'm going to now take this and round my corners. On that. Now, because I'm using this vine look to her, I am going to also distress the edges with green. But on some other things that I've done, let me show you a couple of other things. Here's one with a stamp of some vintage little girls, and I used the exact same technique of just covering them up and stamping over them. So you can really do just about anything. So you could use your antique linen or whatever you want to do, but I'm just going to come in here on my edge with my green. And then, you know, I think I am going to take my antique linen. I'm going to, got a little over anxious there, didn't I, ladies? I'm going to put this back on her because I want to bring some of this antique linen on in, and I don't really want to distress her that much. I just want my background to be nice and distressed. So here we go. Done and done, and I can just add her to my card. And there's my distressed look that I was able to create with these really fun bright colors. I'm really loving it. I hope you will try and get outside your comfort zone on something like either the Copics, or if you're like me and are a little nervous about making cards, I hope you'll jump into the middle of it and have some fun. Go play. Bye.